Good morning, degenerates, and welcome to another episode of Boring Crypto IO, a place where I read you the boring crypto news every morning, Monday through Friday, so you don't have to. My name is Not Important. I'm your host. Let's do it. Mt. Gox registration deadline pushed for another month. Judge refuses to consolidate class action lawsuits against FTX. SBF lawyers signal need to push back October criminal trial. Silvergate Capital Corporation will voluntarily liquidate Silvergate Bank. Oh, the crypto space. The market. Not good, y'all. We are down $994 billion. We are under $1 trillion, guys. Selling off. The market is selling off. Bitcoin dominance 42.1%. Sorry, I got blurry-eyed for a second. Bitcoin dominance 42.1%. ETH dominance 18.9%. 22 away for an ETH transaction. And Bitcoin started selling off again late last night-ish. And the market is clearly following. I'm looking for any like big pullbacks. Filecoin pumping 4%. Lido DAO down 8%. ApeCoin almost 6%. GRT, I don't even know what that is. 6%. Mana almost 5%. Phantom almost 6%. Yeah, guys, red day. Red. Woo! Immutable X, 15%. That's a biggie. Ouch. All right, let's get to Bitcoin and then get you guys out of here. So yesterday we were talking about these two giant blood diamonds on the 4-hour. We were hoping that this 22,336 level would hold. Clearly, it did not. The blood diamonds are playing out. We got a little bit of a bounce here. Actually, at the top of our old double bottom over here, right around 21.9. We'll just call it 22. A psychological level makes sense. We would get a bounce there. It's the bottom over this wick right here. I was hoping that this 21.764 level that I have marked would hold, but we broke straight through it. And we did touch the bottom of this old. We touched the bottom of this old double bottom. It's a lot of bottoms, touching bottoms left and right. From back over here, from back in early February, and we bounced off of it. Here's the scary part that I'm seeing right now on the 4-hour at least. We hit that bottom. We bounced straight up into my 21.764 level, and it instantly got rejected from it. So what I thought was going to be support unfortunately became resistance. Not a good sign. And we hit it twice on the 4-hour, mind you, and then broke back down. Broke through that 21.592 level here that I have, which is the bottom of the double bottom over here, and then bounce back into this channel. We're going to keep it short and sweet, guys. If we can't get back above this 21.764 and hold, I think we're going to go down to 20. Even with the levels I have marked, especially with the weekend coming up, it's not looking good. That's all. And what's really unfortunate too is because we actually do have green dots and bullish divergences happening, but the price action is not reflecting any of that at all. So we got our green dot here yesterday on the 4-hour, down here at the bottom, and then instantly another red, and we continue to sell off. So with that being said, per usual, we're just going to keep moving today, guys. Keep it fast. Tight stop losses. Trade conservatively. I mean, even if you're shorting, Bitcoin's been being really funny lately. This thing could, I don't think it will, but Bitcoin has been very unpredictable to an extent in my mind lately. This thing could bounce and then take off again. This weekend we could get another $2,000 pump. So just be smart, trade conservatively, like I always say. Use your stop losses. And I gotta say this isn't a trading channel. I'm a terrible trader. Don't pay attention to me. I know nothing of what I speak. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Trade your own risk. All right, moving on. Ethereum. Okay, same thing. Blood diamond, like I showed you guys yesterday, and whoop doop doop, we broke down. Now we bounced off of my 1542 level for quite some time that I was telling you guys about. Wick to it, came up, touched the top of the 1566, wick back down, so on and so forth, which again is slightly concerning because now this what was looking like a potential support range is now resistance, and then eventually just gave it up, shot through it, and we're bouncing around this rectangle that I've highlighted. What this rectangle is kind of the back in February. This is where Bitcoin double bottomed. ETH kind of looked like it was going to double bottom and then kind of really dumped hard. But this is right around the same range of where Bitcoin double bottomed. This is the only place I'm really seeing anything that could be potentially support of why it's bouncing right here. You have a little bit of support here at the top of this rectangle at 1531-ish. And then if we go to the bottom of this rectangle, you're looking at support here at around 1514. So this is the range I'm keeping an eye on for right now to see what Ethereum's going to do. Hopefully it stays above this rectangle. If it does dump into the rectangle, hopefully that 1513 will hold as support. If not, I'm looking at 1485. Again, that's where I'm at. Nothing spectacular, nothing super exciting, guys. It's just not looking good. So with that being said, let's go on to the news. Mt. Gox. If you're new here and you don't know what Mt. Gox is, just Google it. I'm sure there's tons of information out there for you to figure out what Mt. Gox has been going on since before I was even, I think since 2014. Don't quote me on that, but before I even got to the crypto space. My point in this, Mt. Gox has always been this big looming factor of Bitcoin that's been locked up in this it's the same kind of thing like this hack or whatever. Same thing like kind of like with FTX and all the other exchanges that went insolvent. Trying to figure out what they're going to do with this locked up Bitcoin. And supposedly there's a lot. I don't really know the exact numbers. The fear that people are having is that eventually when this case is settled and they release this Bitcoin, this locked up Bitcoin, that all these people are just going to dump it on the market. And why would they do that? Well, because it's been locked up since 2013-ish, 2014-ish. Even in the bottom of the bear market that we are now, the Bitcoin that they have locked up on this exchange is worth significantly more than it was when they bought it. But every time they say that they're going to get ready to release this, something like this article pops up, and that's why we're reading it. Mt. Gox registration deadline pushed for another month. Mt. Gox creditors have another month to file for their claims as the registration deadline was pushed back another month. The registration dates for Mt. Gox creditors have been pushed back by another month. According to the announcement, the deadline has been moved from March 10th, which would be tomorrow, to April 6th, allowing creditors to file claims for another month. The distribution deadline has been pushed back by another month as well. The distribution of assets to creditors will now start from October 31st instead of September 30th. Wah, 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 wah. Which is funny because if you watch Ben on BitBoy, he always says he'll believe it when he sees it. And everybody talks about Mt. Gox, and it just keeps not happening. And there was a lot of people, and I don't remember what day it was, but one of his shows this week, where there were people in the chats going, "No, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen." And I gotta admit, it is funny as shit to read this article this morning. He called it. It's getting pushed back again. All right, so I'm sorry. Moving on. The official document cited various circumstances for the shift in deadlines, such as the progress by rehabilitation creditors in respect of the selection and registration. Creditors have the option of a lump sum payment bank remittance, fund transfer service provider, or going through a cryptocurrency exchange or custodian. Creditors have been waiting for years to get the compensated for losses incurred because of the exchange hack in 2014. So it was 2014. Mt. Gox was a Tokyo-based cryptocurrency exchange that once accounted for more than 70% of Bitcoin transactions. That's huge. This is what people are worried about. In 2014, the exchange was hacked and filed for bankruptcy after thousands of Bitcoin were stolen. As Cointelegraph reported in February, Mt. Gox Investment Fund, the largest creditor of the defunct crypto exchange, chose to have an early payout in Bitcoin rather than wait longer for an even larger payment after a legal battle. The early payout meant creditors would receive approximately 90% of what was due. The bankruptcy trustee doesn't have to sell tokens to acquire fiat funds for the payment, since the creditor also chose to be paid in Bitcoin. The extension is deadline. Means other. I'm retarded. I can't read correctly. The extension in deadline means other creditors will have another month to decide whether to take the lower amount now or wait another 9 years to get the full amount. Holy crap. Mt. Gox creditors payout has been in focus for quite some time now, especially considering, this is what I said, the value of BTC has increased multifold since the exchange went bust. There's been speculation about the impact of Mt. Gox creditors on the market if they decided to sell their holdings. However, a report from Bloomberg has noted that the largest Mt. Gox creditors have no plans to sell their BTC. Yeah, I don't know if I believe that. Yeah, so this is what people have been saying. It's getting pushed back again, guys. If you have anything or any thoughts about this, please let me know in the comments down below. Moving on. Judge refuses to consolidate class action lawsuit against FTX. A U.S. judge denied the request to consolidate, saying that the defendants had not had the opportunity to respond. A federal judge has refused to consolidate several proposed class action lawsuits against the FTX exchange by investors. According to the judge, the exchange and its defendants have not yet been heard. And that's the thing. On March 8th, United States District Judge Jacqueline Scott Corley laid down the order that denied plaintiffs a request to consolidate 5 proposed class action lawsuits against the bankrupt crypto exchange. Despite no defendants opposing the motion, the judge pointed out that not all defendants had the opportunity to respond yet. The order stated, while plaintiffs state that no defendant has filed an opposition, they offered no declaration attesting that they have met and conferred with defendants and that they do not oppose consolidation. Plaintiffs, including Julie Papadakis, Michael Elliott Jessup, Stephen Pierce, Elliot Lamb, and Russell Hawkins, accused the former FTX CEO Sam Bankman-Fried and other executives from misappropriating assets, filing cases in California. While all the plaintiffs are going after Bankman-Fried, the cases also include various other defendants, including outside auditors and those promoting the exchange. Because of this, the judge also pointed out there's no need to consolidate before hearing the defendant's side. The court discerns no need to do so now without giving defendants the opportunity to be heard, and it would be premature to appoint interim class counsel before consolidation, the order wrote. Meanwhile, Bankman-Fried lawyers have recently signaled that there might be a need to push back the criminal trial scheduled in October, which we're going to read that today. In a letter dated March 8th, lawyers representing Bankman-Fried said that they said that while they're not formally requesting a date change, it may be necessary as they're waiting for a substantial chunk of evidence to be sent to them. How convenient for Sam. In addition, the lawyers noted that more charges were filed against Bankman-Fried in February. Stacking it up, sir. And on to that story. SBF's lawyers signal need pushback October criminal trial. Sam Bankman-Fried's lawyers said that they're still waiting on evidence from federal prosecutors and may need more time to prepare a defense. Please, don't make us send Sam to jail, even though we all know he's a POS. Lawyers representing FTX founder Sam Bankman-Fried have flagged that it may be necessary to delay the criminal trial for the former crypto exchange executive to give him more time to prepare his defense. How convenient and lucky for him. In March 8th, in a March 8th letter, United States District Judge Lewis Kaplan, Bankman-Fried's lawyer, said that they weren't formally requesting a date change just yet, but it may be needed as they're still awaiting a substantial portion of evidence to be turned over to them, and more charges have been laid against the FTX founder in late February. I mean, hell, you might as well just get the trial over with before he gets even more charges slammed against him, right? Who knows? The criminal trial is scheduled to begin on October 2nd and will focus on the fraud charges brought by the Department of Justice. According to the letter, DOJ prosecutors are holding evidence from devices belonging to Caroline Ellison, the former CEO of FTX's sister trading firm Alameda, and Gary Wang, an FTX co-founder. Both Ellison and Wang have pleaded guilty to fraud charges. Not good for Sam. And are cooperating with the DOJ. Bankman-Fried's lawyers said that they are also waiting for contents from computers belonging to two other former FTX/Alameda employees. They anticipate the production of the evidence from the devices will be voluminous, and critically important to the defense. And that's them talking about that. The letter also noted that the superseded indictment against Bankman-Fried, unsealed on February 22nd, that bumped the number of charges from 8 to 12 with new charges relating to conspiracy and fraud. Bankman-Fried pleaded not guilty to the original 8 charges brought against him in December. One of Bankman-Fried's lawyers, Christian Everdell, wrote in the letter, depending on the volume of the additional discovery and the timing of the productions, it may be necessary to request an adjournment of the trial, currently scheduled to begin on October 2nd of 2023. While we are not making such an application at this time, we wanted to note this issue for the court now. Bankman-Fried is currently released on a $250 million bond. No, he's not. His parents put up one of their houses, which is only worth $4 million. This is bullshit. He has been under house arrest in Palo Alto, California, Bay Area, up north, at his parents' house, and his online activities are restricted, sort of, because we keep seeing stuff coming out about him getting his little hand slapped every time he does something wonky on the internet. The schedule for the trial and bail conditions will be discussed at a hearing on Friday, March 10th. The FTX founder also faced separate fraud-related civil lawsuits from Commodities Futures Trading Commission and the Securities and Exchange Commission. Both have been delayed until the Bankman-Fried criminal trial. Oh, Sam. Once again, you might not go to trial. All right, last but not least, Silvergate Capital Corporation will voluntarily liquidate Silvergate Bank. The company claimed that the bank's voluntary liquidation is its best path forward due to recent industry and regulation developments. The parent company of Silvergate Bank, known to many in the space as one of the major crypto banks, has announced plans to wind down operations and liquidate the bank. In a March 8th announcement, Silvergate Capital Corporation said the decision to shutter operations was in light of recent industry and regulatory developments. According to the company, Silverbank liquidation plan included full repayment of all deposits. Many crypto firms, including Coinbase, Paxos, Gemini, Bitstamp, and Galaxy Digital, announced in March they would cut ties to the bank following an investigation into Silvergate's alleged involvement in the collapse of FTX. The bank said it would be closing its exchange network on March 3rd, claiming that the termination was a risk-based decision. Silvergate was one of the major banking partners for many crypto firms, but drew concerns about its solvency following announcement it would delay the filing of its annual 10-K report by 2 weeks. The document typically provides an overview of a company's financial situation. With the future absence of Silvergate, it's unclear what the impact will be on other crypto firms with funds tied to the bank or otherwise exposed. The bank reported that the transfer volume of consumer fiat deposits dropped roughly $50 billion in the third quarter of 2022 compared to that over the same period in 2021. Ooh. More fun for the market. Fun, fun, fun. All right, guys, let's look at Bitcoin before we get you out of here. Yeah. I would watch that 21,592 level. And if we can't hold that, I'm looking at 20. I know I have all these levels marked, guys, because it's all previous support and resistance back here from way back in early January. But I gotta be honest, it ain't looking good. But that's it. That's all I got for you. I mean, we are, of course, we're starting to bring another green dot. Sorry, I'm trying to figure it out. I'm looking at this green dot going, really? We're look, okay, let's say we found a bottom. This might be a local bottom, but I just don't see strength, and that's where my head's at. I'm sorry I sound bearish. I'm just trying to keep myself and whoever's watching this channel potentially safe. I could be wrong, but it's looking bearish to me. All right, that's it. Let's get you guys out of here. If you do enjoy the content that I provide here, guys, on Crypto.io every morning, Monday through Friday for you, please, by all means, subscribe to the channel. Turn on this little bell for notifications so you know when I post a video. Please, if you're watching the videos, like them. Please share them. Please, I'm asking. I'm not begging, but I am asking. And I will see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning. I'm out of here.